Do you ever find yourself gossiping and wondering, why am I doing this? It sort of feels good but doesn't, and I just continue to do it, yet I know that I don't want to, or it's something that's not really me, but I just keep doing it. Well, you're about to find out what that might be. What might be the underlying unconscious behavior that's driving the conscious behavior. Welcome back to another episode of the Joyful Mate podcast. I'm your host, Anthony Hartcher, your joyful journey mentor. And today we're going to go on a journey of discussing gossip. Yes, gossip. And we certainly observe, and we've been part of, and we've contributed to gossip, all of us, including myself. I've been thinking about this behavior because I'm hearing a bit about it more so recently, and it's probably because we're going through a bit of uncertainty around financial markets, people being concerned about whether they've got enough money to pay rent and pay for food and school fees and all that. Cost of living's rising, and also we've got war going on around the world. So there's certainly higher elements of uncertainty. People are a bit anxious, and we're looking for relief. We're looking for making some way of making us feel better. And often we can turn to gossip to make us feel better. Yes. So gossip is about putting someone else down. At the same time, you're lifting yourself above them. So you sort of feel better in a sense. However, you need to understand what's driving that behavior. Why do I need to put someone else down to make me feel better? And I often observe this, and I've done it certainly, and I've realized what's driving that behavior. And I can help you today in terms of relieving that unconscious motive. We need to find out, well, why am I putting others down to make me feel better? Is that because I don't feel so good about myself? Is it because I'm putting myself down? Is it that my self-talk is constantly sabotaging who I am and belittling yourself? Is your self-talk belittling you? Well, you can get on top of this self-talk by leveling up. Yes, I learnt this from Dr. John Demartini, so kudos to him. We can often perceive others as being superior, and we look up to them. We admire them, and what is driving that is we can see where they're doing well, and we think, and obviously in that same area, we're not doing well. So if you're admiring someone for their parenting or their business skills or their financial wealth, then it's something that's a high value to them. It's really important to them. And so they've worked at it and they've developed mastery in that area, and hence why they're getting success in that area. At the same time, you also have been mastering an area of your life. It's just in a different area because you have different values. So you've been focused on another area. For example, I admire Elon Musk for his ability to accomplish incredible things around his visions, around his space efforts, around his electrification or solar electrification efforts. He's done extraordinary things in extraordinary areas. And what I need to do is think, well, what is it that I admire about him? And one of the areas that I've really identified is his work ethic. He's relentless in terms of his pursuit for an outcome that's worthwhile to him. So it's important to him. And then I was thinking, okay, where do I have that work ethic? What area is really important to me? Well, my health is. And I have that relentless pursuit of improving my health. And I go to extraordinary efforts to do that. Hence why I'm wearing these goggles, not goggles, but glasses. They don't look great on me. I acknowledge that, but they serve a purpose for my health. And so I go to extraordinary lengths in my health. And, some people could admire me for my efforts towards my health, my work ethic towards my health. And so that's how we want to level up with people, is looking at those that you're looking up to and admiring, and then being very specific as to what you're admiring about them, and then going to that area that you value most and start finding evidence in that area that you value most that you're demonstrating exactly what they're doing in the area that they value most. And you want to keep finding those examples until you feel level with that person in terms of that specific behavior. And if you start working through the list of all the people you admire and then write down next to it what behavior are they demonstrating that you admire about them, or what trait is it that you admire about them, and be very specific about that, then you want to look in your life and the areas that you value most and look for examples of you demonstrating that specific behavior or trait. And you keep doing that exercise until you neutralize or see yourself as equal and doing it as much as they do. And this works. This works. I've been through this exercise and it really works. And once you start leveling up yourself, then you don't put yourself down anymore, because you see that you have the traits of what you admire in others within you. And so you don't need to gossip as much or at all, right? I don't find myself getting involved with gossip because I've worked through this exercise. I hear gossip, but I don't participate in it because it doesn't serve me anymore. I don't need to put other people down to put myself up. And so I want you to think about, if you're participating in gossip and you're doing it fairly regularly and it's frustrating you, then this exercise will really serve you. So I just write down that list of all the people that you look up to, you admire. What is it specifically that you admire about them? What behavior or what trait is it? It could be a physical trait that you admire about them. And then find it in yourself and keep looking for it in yourself in the areas that you value most. And you'll find it. You'll absolutely find it. I've done this many times over and it is absolutely liberating, and you will no longer find yourself diving into gossip. The other reason that people, or unconscious motive that people might gossip, is their life is boring, right? They're just doing the treadmill and they're not taking on any new challenges to spark their curiosity. And why aren't they doing that? Well, they're probably lost in getting involved with other people's lives, getting too they're not being themselves. And so they're wanting to absorb themselves in other people's drama or get involved with other people's drama to bring some spice to their life, to lighten up their life. However, you don't need that. You can bring spice to your life by doing and living each day by what's most important to you. It's getting back to living an authentic life and realizing that that's your purpose, is just to be you and to live by what's most important to you. I've been doing that and I find it really empowering. It's so empowering that I don't get involved with celebrities and what they're up to. I'm not even interested because I'm so interested in the work that I do. I don't have time to read gossip. I don't have time to read what celebrities are doing or influencers are doing or whatever. I just read and digest and absorb the things that I'm interested in. And I keep doing that because I love it. It drives more curiosity. I get deeper into the research and it opens up more doors. So if you're finding yourself getting too involved with celebrities' lives, then you might want to think about what's important to you and start doing more of that. Start empowering yourself in those areas and double down in those areas. You'll find you just don't have the time to waste in terms of reading what other people are doing or getting involved or even talking about it. You will dig down deep and be curious and spice up your life and bring huge amounts of energy to your life and those around you by doing what you love most. So double down on the things that you love most. Don't worry about their opinion, because it's more important that you live the life that you want to live. And we often hear this in terms of when people on their deathbed, for example, and they're going through their life and they often share regrets. And one of the most common regrets is just not doing what they wanted to do. and listening too much to other people. So block out the noise, listen to your inner voice, and allow that to shine. Allow that to come out. I just read an article on loneliness, and it wasn't saying that loneliness is because of a result of not having people around of us. Loneliness is because we haven't listened to ourselves and we haven't voiced ourselves. And so we're disconnected from self. And that disconnection of self, we project onto others and think we're disconnected from other people. It's simply because we have a disconnection with self. So again, if you're finding yourself lonely, it's because you're not speaking up. You're not being yourself. You're not allowing your voice to be heard. So speak up more. When you speak up more, you'll feel an authenticity about it. It feels good. It might feel a bit nervy to begin with because you haven't done it. But the more you do it, the more comfortable you get with it, and the more you care less about what other people think, because it feels so good to, to bring out yourself and to allow others to see who you truly are, as opposed to trying to put on mask and trying to be someone else. So quit people pleasing and start being yourself. You'll then leave gossip behind you, and you'll go on your journey to discover more joy and fulfillment and purpose in life. And if you like this episode and you're seeing others that are gossiping a lot, maybe this will help them. Maybe this will help them find more joy and fulfillment. So please pass it on to them. If you're needing more support in this area, please reach out. Click on the booking link, the free booking link, to book a session with me to discuss how I can help you move through these blockages of low self-worth, low self-esteem, and so that you can find your true self. So please click on that booking link. And until next time, continue on your purpose of joy, fulfillment, happiness, and love. Thank you for listening.